Great evening, ladies, gentlemen, friends, and family. I'm Shadidi Laser. Welcome to Consulting. You're doing it all wrong. In tonight's segment, we will cover how to raise those rates using a digital assets. Now, I'm a wide kind of guy, so I need to make sure that you're in the right place. I like to be in the right place. And so this session is for you if you are a service-based business professional, if you are a consultant, an author, a speaker, a coach. Professional services is the realm that we're covering this evening. So this might be you if you work with clients and they don't really appreciate you, or you have a great talent, high income skill, as they like to say, the kids like to say, but you haven't found the way to monetize that skill, at least to the level that will pay your bills and allow you to live comfortably, which we all deserve. And so before we get into this discussion this evening, I send my heart out to the family of my friend, the Terrence Bradshaw, whose physical life came to an end this past week. Leaves behind 3 children as well as his wife. That man was my friend. He would watch these videos, even though he's my friend. Sometimes your friends don't like to, you know, look at things, advice or anything. Sometimes, especially amongst men, we give each other a hard time. But I'll say this, Terrence would watch these videos and he would call me sometimes late at night and he'd give me the key takeaways, give me some pointers on how to improve. And he started to do his own videos, do his own thing. And he always gave me my flowers. So I just wanted to take a moment to give him his. And you will be missed. My condolences to the Bradshaw family. Secondly, the families, the citizens of New York City, and the soldiers who were impacted by the attacks on the towers back on September 11th, 2001. Respect to my fellow veterans. We are a global community. With that being said, let's go into the topic of the evening. Now, it's important to have a common definition. And what are high ticket sales and what is high ticket consulting? We'll define it as the sale of a product, service, or solution for a one-time payment of $3,000 US or greater. Now, there's a different set of mechanics that go into the high ticket sale. There's a different psychology in your buyer, your prospects, in their expectation levels. So in order to help you along with that, self-paced learning is always important to have and to give that option. If you want to understand that mindset and fix your high ticket selling in a self-paced learning environment, I want you to go to bit.ly/high ticket execution plan and get the high ticket execution checklist using the pay what you want pricing. So name your price, grab the checklist, and make a $3,000 sale. How's that for ROI? It's a great way to kick off your weekend. If you had a notification of payment received of $3,000 or more, that would be a nice weekend. I don't know about you. So in addition to the high ticket execution checklist, which will provide the step-by-step to help you based on my years in the trenches, past and present, You will receive my personal full support via direct message. You send a DM and you say, I have the high ticket execution checklist, and I have a question about how to position my services, or what should I add to my proposals, or should I submit a proposal with it? Should I follow up 1 day, 2 days, 3 days after the strategy call? And I'll say, here's a case study. Here's a script. Here's examples that I've personally used, as well as success stories from my clients. I will support you. So bit.ly/high ticket execution plan. Grab it, add it to your digital library, and let's sell some things. Now, why are you undercharging for your services? Like I said, I'm a why type of guy. It's important to understand the why behind the what, the actions and underlying motives, right? So undercharging for your services is rooted in lack of options, scarcity mentality, and first person thinking. I'll explain what first person thinking means. Here's what you think. I'll take you down the path of the freelancer, of the service-based business professional service professional. So you're thinking, it only takes me 30 minutes to write an email. It only takes me 5 hours to build and customize a Shopify store. It only takes me 20 minutes to design a graphic for social media. And what you do in the fallacy in your logic, the flaw in your thinking, is you're applying the height of your knowledge to the depth of your pricing. Say that again. You're applying the height of your knowledge to the depth of your pricing. Now, because there was minimal sweat equity, you don't factor in the most important piece of the equation, which is we'll call R cubed. Client R cubed, which is client's reaction, results, and revenue. So client R cubed, which is the reaction, the results, and the revenue. And so when you're pricing any service that you're going to deliver, you first must solve the client R cubed equation. What is the client's reactions? What is the client's results? And what is the client's revenue? And when you understand this information, it begins to unlock a new part of your brain, a new paradigm begins to occur, because you step out of first person mode and you start to think of the big picture of your services and how they impact the world around you. When you understand your impact, then there's no way that you can consciously undercharge, unless it's a charity situation or someone you're looking to help, someone you believe in. So you have the option to undercharge versus the scarcity mentality that this is all you can do. This is all you are worth. This is the only option you have. And so if you were able to understand how much your client loved your work, I love your work, and how big of a problem you solved for them, and how they were losing sleep before they engaged you, wouldn't it change how you viewed your own talent? The paradigm would shift. The perspective would be different. So if you feel that in your spirit, if that makes sense to you, if I'm speaking to the right audience here, comment with your key takeaway. I'll give you a moment here. I'll play a little music, just give it a moment. What's your key takeaway from what I've just shared with you in terms of where you are on the pricing scale? There's always going to be someone who is the top of the top and are charging what you would consider a super high rate that you either wouldn't pay or you couldn't imagine typing on an invoice or a proposal or uttering out of your mouth. on a strategy call. So, what's your key takeaway? Comment with your key takeaway. Okay, let's continue forward here. Okay, so now, next, you're asking the wrong questions. Now, your quality of life is based upon the quality of questions that you ask yourself and the world around you. And so you're asking the wrong questions as it relates to the sales process. Now, let's walk down this path. So during the sales process, you're locked into limited thinking of the following questions. Will my prospects say no? Will my prospect say yes? Will my prospects say no? Will my prospects say yes? What you should be asking, if you were my client or you were a student of any of the digital products, hello, sir, ma'am, would you like another? Hello, sir or ma'am, would you like another? Now, you may be asking, what on earth does that mean, Shadi? You're probably like, I think he's finally went off his rocker here. Would you like another is the question you should be asking. Now, here at Elaser HQ, we have a mantra, an inside joke. We build businesses to sell, and sometimes we love them enough to keep them around. And so there's only two reasons to build a business. Either you're building it to sell, or you're building it to sustain the quality of life for your children's children. So legacy-based business versus business built to sell. However, the business that improves the quality of life for your children should be built to sell as well. And so it's a big difference between building a business to sell versus what many people do, which is completely wing it, or even worse, copy from people who don't know what they're doing. And so one of the key metrics, if you're building a business to sell, is customer lifetime value. And this is one of the key metric that you must embrace. I want you to type in the comments the following: no more one-time sales. I'll say that again. No more one-time sales. I want you to say it with me this time. No more one-time sales. And so when you talk about, let's say, what you want to do, I'm going to just make sure this is on the screen here, because it's a powerful concept. So no more one-time sales. So the one and done selling, you feel lucky you have a client and you make a sale by accident in many cases because there's no process, and you posted links on social media and somebody felt payday was here and they bought what you have to sell. And so, but there's no process, there's no follow-up, there's no automation, there's no one-time sale, one and done. And so here's the key. I want you to write this down. No more one-time sales. You must give your clients a game to play. Give your clients a game to play. Give them a breadcrumb trail. So set down the breadcrumb trail, Hansel and Gretel, so on and so forth. So the question is, how do you accomplish this? Number one, You set up recording devices all around your brand, meaning you want to capture the reactions of people at the point of sale, at the point of excitement, at the point of transformation. And these are the record. So you want to capture those moments. So if you have a group Zoom call, for example, why on earth would you not record it? Why on earth would you not have it transcribed? If you have a one-on-one call, why would you not record it? And most importantly, your training, your solution should have a process where you solicit that feedback that you want from your clients because it gives you the fuel to sell again. And so set up recording devices in your processes all around your brand. Listen first, package later. So with that feedback, you have the know-how, the wisdom to create digital assets, to create additional processes, and improve on your overall customer experience. Number two, in terms of how you accomplish this, giving your clients a game to play. You ask more questions than you give answers. So ask more questions than you give answers. As you may have heard, the person who asks the questions maintains the control in the interaction. And so if you're being hired to deliver professional service, your clients don't want to give you the answers. They want to be led in a path of transformation. If I hire a personal trainer, I would hope that I don't come into the workout and dictate every single workout that that personal trainer is going to deliver. Otherwise, there's no game to play. There's no, let's say, shock value in terms of my muscles and what will make me rise to the occasion. And so you as a coach, a service provider, need to provide those next steps. So ask more questions than you give answers. So how do we do this? Surveys, focus groups, VIP customer groups, incentivize beta testing. If you download this book and provide me with feedback, I'll give you a free strategy session or I'll give you a month within my membership group. So these are excellent ways to do so. So let's transition for a second into the Eraser revenue model and break down how to restructure your service-based business. Now, in the high ticket execution checklist, we'll have the revenue model. I'm going to break it down using several examples. And again, that's available through pay what you want pricing at bit.ly/high ticket execution checklist. So let's make sure you have that on the screen here. Give me one moment. Hold on. I got the URL here. Make sure you have it on the screen. There we go. So while that sits on the screen, we're going to transition into a little desktop demo here. And I'm going to walk you through the model as we share our screen. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so let's get this together. All right. Thank you to those on Facebook. We got Derek Perkins, the great Derek Perkins. Learned a lot from Desmic Perkins. What am I saying? Derek. Desmic Perkins, excuse me. Mike Murphy, the great Mike Murphy. Everett Smith, the very talented, intelligent Erica Bates. And so here we go. Let's share this screen and let's get into it. Okay. All right, so there we go. So this is the Eraser revenue model. Try to bring it full screen for you so you can see. I know the lime green is a little bright on the eyes, but I like it. The green represents success on this particular dashboard. Yours may be different. So where many service-based business owners go wrong, and don't get me wrong, we all go with what we were taught and what we know, but today's a new day, ladies and gentlemen. So we're all out here and we're trying to chase clients. And here's the thing about clients. Clients are people too, meaning clients sometimes don't pay on time. Clients sometimes don't pay at all. Clients sometimes, if you don't charge a high ticket fee or premium fee, they don't appreciate you. We already know they don't appreciate free. So you're oftentimes left working with people who don't appreciate, and especially during this time of let's say uncertainty, they may not be able to afford to work with you. They may say in theory, yes, I'd love to work with you, but in reality they may not have the budget. So you're relying on people who oftentimes are changed. They have emotions. They start and don't finish. They may not take your advice and run with it. And you've spent many years learning this, and they question it. And so those are some of the downsides of dealing with clients. Now, uh, I have a better idea in mind, a little bit easier for your service-based businesses. You see, instead of chasing after clients for the majority of your income, whether one-on-one, especially, um, let's try a different approach. So instead, we will replace our clients with students. So we're going to package our knowledge into digital assets that are hosted online. We have ownership of them. And what they do is they turn into, they check into work. They become digital employees. And so they go to work for us when we're tired, when we're asleep, when we're on vacation, when we're spending time with the family, and they're out here working. So if you happen to get a speaking gig and you do a good job, they will uh, basically be working for you, as we live in a search engine or on-demand society where if something is noteworthy, viral, resonates either within a Facebook group, within a Twitter thread, within an Instagram post, then people will search for that individual, especially if they are affiliated or appear on mass media outlets such as podcasts, such as news broadcasts, such as YouTube interviews, so on and so forth. There's numerous ways and numerous channels to bring attention to yourself. And so with student income, it starts to change the game, because number one, the time invested, or the time for money trap, where you're chasing after clients and you're trying to work one-on-one, that begins to go away, because as each digital employee is working for you, they're out generating revenue, streams of income. And so you can have more than one employee. You can create money trees all over the internet. And so each money tree can have its own funnel. Each money tree can be its own product itself. And so it begins to stabilize your service-based business. What this does is it gives you the option to choose who you want to work with. But let's go into the next part of this model, which is not elite clients and not group program, because with the Eraser revenue model, what tends to happen is when you develop your digital assets under our system, which is a 9-step proprietary process, then you are making your content license ready. Now, I personally have been licensing content since 2008. all around the Beltway in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Government contracting is something I don't talk often about, but is something that I have a deep experience with. Specifically, packaging digital assets in order to extend existing service agreements and contracts with prime or subcontractors within the government. Lucrative work. And so the idea is to develop your money trees into a curriculum that you then grant permission. You're granting permission to your intellectual property in order to for that organization to consume for its students, for its employees, and they pay you a hefty fee for it, and it's recurring, meaning you can set terms for that to take place. So each year you can have a meeting to determine if you want it to continue. And in most cases, if you adhere to your promise and budget stay intact, then you will have licensing deals. Now, the beauty of licensing deals is that they're similar to digital assets. You can have more than one. And so this 20% of the pie chart is actually, that can only be 1 to 3 licensing deals. And so you have your student income, student revenue. You then have your licensing. And so from there, what tends to happen is with your students, and the beauty of students is that they become clients. Now, we have our clients who have the same challenges along the path that you've determined. So your digital assets should introduce the problem and give them a self-paced turnkey method in order to solve it. Now, as we know, according to the laser method, when you solve a problem, you create a new and better, exciting, compelling problem. Just yesterday, I used the example of the health coach who helps their clients lose 100 pounds. Now, in losing that weight, it creates a new problem. The game doesn't end there. The next game is having a stylist. They have clothes that don't fit anymore. And they have mindset issues because they have to get used to the attention and get used to being literally a new person. So partnering with other service providers is always a smart way to go. You can also have, let's say, a membership community where those answers along the path, meaning the image consultant or the mental health professional, all live within this community. So you get all the answers in one place, and you think you have one problem, but then you continue to solve additional problems. And that's what makes you elite and sought after within your area of expertise. So students will raise their hand and say, what's the next step? Please help me find the next step, Shadi. And that's where you leverage business jujitsu, which is the art of leveraging your strengths, your talents, and solutions into a group program. So 20% of your income will come from a signature group program. Now, within that group program, there's going to be a few whales within the group program who will say, listen, I need your direct support to help me get this result. I love your training, but I'm willing to pay you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in order to gain a specific result. I need more of your time. And that's where the 10% of elite clients will come from. So that's the Eraser revenue model. And so as we come back to the screen here, just give me a moment here, bear with me. So what's your key takeaway of the Eraser revenue model? Please comment and let me know what you think, where you fit into this model, and how you can leverage, and also what changes you think you would need to make in order to leverage this model within your business. And so let me make sure, check in with social media channels. There's several Instagram. We're broadcasting to several Facebook groups. And I thank my distribution partners who allow me to amplify my message on social media. Thank you to all who are tuning in this evening to the broadcast. Make sure that you go over to bit.ly/high ticket execution plan and pre-order that high ticket execution plan checklist. Pay what you want. So name your price. And from there, you can add it to your digital library. It will launch in just a few days, September 13th, 3 p.m. Eastern. That checklist will be in your digital library. So as we bring this plane to a landing, I want to know your key takeaway and thoughts. Comment below on how you can transition from, let's say, being underappreciated, underpaid, bitter in some cases, to starting to charge with your worth. So making sure we tie this all together. When you have the bulk of your expenses being covered by packaging your knowledge, meaning you've already gone through the fire of learning it, the trial, the error of learning what you know, but then you start to package it and you start to publish it online, and you're staying active, you're doing your job, you're doing your work, you're servicing your clients, you're posting on social media, you're writing your books, you're speaking, you're talking. What tends to happen is you create a footprint through the magic of search engines, which YouTube is the world's #2 largest search engine. Twitter is the world's greatest real-time search engine. You start to develop reputational currency. And from there, instead of getting likes and people saying, hey, good job for what you're doing, you begin to generate notification of payment received. And that's when you start to solve that time for money equation, of which the great investor Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to earn money while you're asleep, you will work until you die. And so these are equations that we must solve within service-based businesses. And I believe in you. And so if you download the checklist, then you will have the steps based on a very true story and the stories of several clients that have guided through this similar process. When someone's undercharging, I get offended because time's non-refundable and your gifts are not of you. They come from the creator to flow through you. So it's almost blasphemous to be working in your gifts, in your talents, which takes a bit of courage in itself to be self-employed and step out here and risk it all and still not have the puzzle together in terms of a pricing strategy that will allow you to liberate yourself, your family, and pursue the life that you truly deserve. So once again, you've been tuning into Consulting. You're doing it all wrong. And how to raise your prices using digital assets. If you feel that working one-on-one is not what you want to do, or you feel that you need to put together a strategy that will work according to the numbers, according to science. This is science. This is not guesswork. Then your next step would be to contact me. So I'll give you some options here. You can send a direct message through your favorite social media platform and reach out and let's have a conversation. So, on behalf of Team Elaser HQ, or if you want to have a conversation on Messenger, for those of you who use Messenger, then here's the direct link to contact me here. So, Shadidi Laser, high ticket execution checklist, pre-order, ready to go, September 13th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Full direct messaging support. Let's build a high ticket business together. Shadidi Laser, enjoy your weekend.